Okay, I think that's good. Alright, what's going on, guys? This is my second take. The first video that I tried to upload, I ended up recording it in slow-mo. I wanted to record this to kind of update, where I'm at on the channel and to kind of give a bit of an update. It's been a while since I've uploaded an actual video on this channel, but I kind of wanted to share a bit of what I've been trying to do for the past few months. So as you can tell from the title, I titled it like "Lost My 9 to 5," and here's how I'm gonna make it as a producer. So essentially, I worked a 9 to 5 job for the past like year and a half, pretty normal job. Then I switched to like a startup 9 to 5 with a salary, and then didn't go too well. Got basically fired from the job for not performing that well. So it was very disappointing. Definitely, not ideal. A bit of a shock, but it took me some time to reflect, and I wanted to really think about what direction I wanted to take. I could either go back to a regular 9 to 5 job, do the same work that I've always done, went to school for, got the degree, whatever, kind of the normal route. But I also thought about my other options right now, and I have an opportunity here to really kind of build something of my own. Building a business specifically of something that I really want to do. Me personally, I've always had, a passion for music and music production. I've been producing since 2018. I convinced myself that it wasn't a really feasible path because, I always assumed if you're a music producer, if you actually make money as a music producer, you got to have those like major placements. You've got to work with the big dogs, and you've got to grind your butt off to see kind of that sort of success. And they're absolutely right. The best producers had to grind and work really hard to get those placements and to work with those big artists. If it weren't for their hard work, they wouldn't be the producer that they were. So for me, I always thought that was too much of a grind, and I kind of just went on with the regular work that I did. When I finally did land that job after I graduated from university, it didn't feel as fulfilling as I hoped for, and even the pay too, it wasn't that much. So I was always kind of looking for different ways to make more money, and I've spent thousands of dollars on online courses and learned about your typical online business ventures like agencies and making sales calls and being like a setter or a closer or whatever you call it. But I lost interest pretty quickly. There could be many reasons for it. I could have either, I could have stuck with it, but ultimately I probably wouldn't have been that super interested in it, in the first place, because it just wasn't something that I really wanted to do. It was more about the money, honestly. After losing my most recent job, I was definitely really disappointed. I kind of just, wallowed in my misery for a little bit. Reflecting, maybe looking for, the odd job here and there just to kind of keep myself going. I was mostly just making beats. That's kind of the one thing that I consistently was doing throughout that time, and still am doing. Is there a way that I could potentially make this into something that I could do as a career? I've been doing some research trying to find what I can actually do to get to that point where I can just focus on music and just living off of that. I'm going to share a little bit of how I plan on making it as a music producer this year. If you watch this video, maybe you'll relate, and maybe you're in the same boat as I am, so maybe you can learn something from me. So I have my laptop here. I wrote down a few things. So this is what I got. I wrote down, this is my Notion, 7 steps to basically make it as a music producer in 2024. So first step is to make beats every day. Ideally, that's what you're gonna do, right? You're gonna basically focus on music every single day, and if you're not, you have to just keep going. You have to treat it like a full-time job. That's the way you have to go. You have to dedicate most of your time to perfecting your craft and building the business. That's the way you gotta go. Step 2, reach out to artists and other producers to collaborate. I've been doing a fair share of that. I've been very active in a bunch of different Discord servers with different producers and artists that I follow. Try to share my music there and share my beats and give a little bit of feedback. Definitely very scattered. Each server is different, right? Each server has different varying levels of activity. When you send your beats in, you don't know if you're gonna get any feedback at all. And most of the time, I just maybe get the occasional fire emoji, but yeah, it's not very consistent. Kind of go in there, share your beats, message some folks oh, this is dope. If you hear something that you really like, you gotta, at least give an emoji, a heart emoji or something. But you know, reaching out to other artists too. Like I've been lucky enough to find some pretty talented rappers, artists, and been sending my beats out to them. And you know, so far it's been pretty good. But I think it could always be better. I could always reach out to more people, be a little more proactive in getting my brand out there, my name out there, my beats out there for people to listen to. Start making video content every week, cookups/vlogs. So I think content is probably the most important part of this. How are people going to know you make beats if you don't share that you make beats, right? I mean, you could still make it, but like, what's the point if you don't share it? People, how are you going to know, like, if it's good or not? I mean, maybe it's good to you, but like, I make music to share with other people. That's why I do it. I think making content consistently every week is ideal. Definitely the only way to go nowadays. Because if you're not sharing your music, what are you doing, right? So that part about making the content goes into the step 5, which is build an audience and then start promoting sound kits and coaching. That's kind of where I'd like to go later this year, is to build an audience. Kind of through the content like this is just documenting my progress, but also with the reels and TikToks and whatever to get my brand out there. You know, eventually build an audience of folks that want to follow my content, want to follow my journey. Eventually I'll get around to doing some sort of exclusive online community like Skool. So if you don't know what Skool is, it's essentially like a website where folks like myself can establish or create their own exclusive online community. You usually have to pay like a certain monthly fee, or I don't know if it's monthly, but you have to pay like a fee or something to have access to this community. I know folks like don't have money. I don't have any money either, so I'll make it very easy for people to have access to it. I essentially want it to be very, very focused on artist and producer development. Like I mentioned before with the Discords, like there's a lot of Discord servers out there, but you know, you don't really get feedback very consistently, or it's not very directed. People are kind of worried about being critical about other people's beats or music because they don't want to hurt your feelings, or they just too lazy. Like they don't want to take the time to actually write something thoughtful with the feedback. So I want to make a space where, you know, folks that are actually serious about, you know, making quality music and, you know, want to improve, like I want them to be in my community to like actually improve and grow fast. I'll hopefully hold some live coaching calls and bring some other like guests to, you know, pitch in and chime in on, you know, some feedback there. And you can also create your own courses within that community too. So I think that's really cool. I might make a course on like songwriting, or how to arrange a song, or how to write a song. You know, I think that'd be really cool because I actually really enjoy writing. You just kind of work through it. You just kind of work through the cadence of the different sections of the song, and then if you're consistent, you'll find your own, you know, style and flow. Take strategic opportunities. So this is a pretty broad step, but essentially if there's an opportunity that comes up, you know, I have to be ready for it. And that could come from other producers, other artists. You know, I don't really have any other industry connections at the moment. I'm just kind of doing this on my own. You know, I'm hoping to change that this year. If there's a way for me to contribute to someone else's work or provide them with some sort of value that way, like that's what I'll be doing. That's what I'm going to do. You know, and I got to start somewhere, and you got to work your way to those opportunities. And then step 7 is just repeat steps 6 to 7. Do that consistently, because those are the ways that you're actually going to make any sort of progress, is to make beats, upload them, reach out to people, make content, build an audience. Boom. That's pretty much all you got to do. I mean, I'm sure there's other stuff that you could throw in there, and you know, if you got any other advice, let me know. Kind of wanted to share my thoughts and put it on this channel because, you know, I wanted to kind of take it into a new direction and kind of record and document my journey here. So because I want to, you know, make this a serious career. Honestly, you know, I can't do 9 to 5 again. I've tried it multiple times and I don't think it's for me. So yeah, anyways, thanks for listening, and I'll speak to y'all soon. So all right, take care guys.